of America are crowned champions of the world, and for the very first time they've done it on European soil. It is finished at the Stade de Lyon in the final, in victory and joy for the United States.
Taylor, do you believe it?
No. Nope, I don't. For the first time in U.S. soccer history, on the men's side, in an entire World Cup qualifying cycle, they lost 5 games. 5 games.
Since their founding in 1985, the U.S. women's national team has been a powerhouse in the world of soccer.
But, with all this success, the players still struggle to obtain one simple thing: equal pay.
This morning, the U.S. women's soccer team is making moves off the field with a gender discrimination lawsuit against their employer, the U.S. Soccer Federation. The goal? Changing working conditions and what players get paid.
Let's see what this issue is all about.
It all started in March 2016, when there was a formal lawsuit filed by players on alleged wage disparity between the U.S. men's and women's team. Then, in spring of 2017, a 5-year bargain deal was given by the Federation and signed by players to improve treatment and pay. However, in March 2019, the entire women's team filed a class action lawsuit against U.S. Soccer Federation on gender discrimination, as the bargain deal they were given was not following up on promises of more equal treatment with the male players. Fast forward to July 2019, U.S. women's soccer win their 4th World Cup and remain defending champs, while the men's team failed to qualify at their last World Cup in 2018. In August 2019, the mediation between team and federation fails, as the U.S. Soccer Federation claims that men's team is stronger and faster and they deserve a higher pay. I'm not sure what they actually were trying to say with that statement.
I think it is much more about pay equity. I think obviously that's the hot button issue, but in order to have, I think, a fair and a balanced conversation around compensation, we need to look at everything. We need to look at the way the youth teams are funded. We need to look at the way our staff, our coaching staff, our medical staff is funded. We need to look at promotion and branding and marketing and sponsorship, all of that. And until we have equity and equality of the men's and women's team on both those sides, we can't really say, oh, the men make this and the women make this. We don't feel like we're funded equally from top to bottom. And
Okay, let me break this down in simpler terms.
First, regarding the success between the men and women's team, it is clear who stands out more. The women have won 4 World Cups, 2 of them consecutively, and took home medals at 4 Olympics. The men's team have not won a World Cup since 1930 and have not taken home any Olympic medals in over a century. Second, let's take a look at the amount of revenue each team pulls in. This includes things like ticket sales and merchandise purchases. From 2016 to 2018, the women's team pulled in $11,400,000, while the men's team pulled in $10,325,000. That means that the women's team pulled in $900,000, almost $1 million more than the men's team, and they had much more success during those years. Next, we should look at the amount of money given by U.S. Soccer Federation to each organization. This money would go towards things like staff salaries and funding youth teams. In 2018, the men's team was granted $7 million for their organization, while the women's team was only given $3.6 million. It is also very important that we take a look at the pay disparity regarding the World Cup. When a team wins the World Cup, they are given large sum of prize money for their achievement. For a winning team in the Men's World Cup, they are gifted $38 million, while the winning team of the Women's World Cup is only given $4 million. A final note about gender discrimination by the Federation that does not have to do with money: the women's team is constantly forced to play on artificial turf, which is known to cause more injury. They have complained many times, yet still get placed on turf for games, while the men's team are constantly playing on safer grass fields.
With new leadership and a court date set, I really believe in the possibility of a positive outcome at the end of it all, and these women can create a better world for young girls everywhere.